Good morning and welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I'm the Reverend Dana Worsnop, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as this congregation's minister. I welcome all to this virtual space made sacred by our presence together. Today, we celebrate Earth Day. The UU seventh principle asks us to be deeply aware of the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Or in our children's version, we believe in caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. Our changing climate has made it so clear that our Earth is precious. It is our home, yes, and also home to so much life. And so for us, Earth Day has become one of our Unitarian Universalist holy days. In the past 3 weeks, we have celebrated holy days from Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And now we celebrate the holy ground that holds us all. I have just a couple of announcements. Fidelity has space for a few more groups for our Earth Day scavenger hunt. So this is actually a few days before Earth Day, which is April 22nd. And the next Saturday is a few days afterwards. So we're making it a Holy Week with this service and then also a scavenger hunt. It'll be around Ventura next Saturday, April 24th, and you can look at UUCV this week to sign up. Now is a great time to gather, if you haven't already, a piece of paper and things to draw with. Because our service today is wrapped around a simple art project. And some people have told me, some of the adults have told me they were surprised that it was for everybody, but we tell stories for the child in each of us. And we do art projects with the child in each of us. So I invite everyone, please, to join in and gather those things. So let us breathe. Arrive in this holy space. Open our hearts to one another and to the earth, which is our home. A tiny blue planet home circling through space. And let us enter this sacred space together.
Good morning. I am Worship Associate Krista Mendelsohn. We hope that everyone here has a chalice or a candle to light and something to light it with. Let us all light our chalices together. We begin our service with these words from Song of the Earth Spirit, a Navajo origin legend. It is lovely indeed, it is lovely indeed. I am the spirit within the earth. The feet of the earth are my feet. The legs of the earth are my legs. The strength of the earth is my strength. The thoughts of the earth are my thoughts. The voice of the earth is my voice. The feather of the earth is my feather. All that belongs to the earth belongs to me. All that surrounds the earth surrounds me. I am the sacred works of the earth. It is lovely indeed, it is lovely indeed. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn Bjerke, the music director, and I'd like to invite you to join with me in singing our opening hymn, Morning Has Broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first word. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fidelity, and I'm the Religious Education Coordinator for our congregation. Today's story for the Time for the Child in each of us is one I'm very excited about. It teaches us how human beings live out the qualities of trees in our day-to-day lives, and also in our communities as a forest. I hope you enjoy Be a Tree, written by Maria John Ferrari and illustrated by Felicita Sala. Be a tree. Stand tall, stretch your branches to the sun. Let your roots curl, coil in the soil to ground you. Beneath your bark are layers, such as sapwood, carrying nutrients to help you grow bigger and taller, and heartwood, strong as bone, to support you. In your heart center is your pith, keeper of nutrients when you were a sapling. High above, your crown may be round, weeping pyramidal broad. Let it stand, shine overhead, collecting sun, filtering dust, shading your roots on hot days. Wave your leaves in the wind, breathe in air, drink in sun. Let them fuel you and the world. See yourself, branches and leaves above, roots below, trunk in between. You are a tree. And now look around you. You are not alone. You are one of many trees. Our roots twine with fungi, joining all trees in the forest together. We talk, share food, store water, divide resources, alert each other to danger. A wood wide web of information. We purify the air, we anchor the soil, preventing erosion. Our dome of joined crowns swings and straightens, slowing high winds. Our bodies and branches and roots are homes to birds and mammals and insects. We sustain ecosystems. Immigrant trees, away from their native habitats, are vulnerable. but together a forest of trees is strong. Mother trees nurse young trees. Old trees shade new trees. Strong trees shelter weak trees. Healthy trees help sick trees. A family, a community, a country, a cosmos. There is enough for all. So be a tree, for together we are a forest. So today, in the spirit of being and embodying the qualities of trees and forests, we are going to create an art project together as part of what we're doing in today's service. So if you haven't already, now is the time to make sure you have a piece of paper in front of you and any art supplies you might want. So that could be markers, it could be pen and paper, it could be pencil, whatever is your preferred art supplies. Now's the time to make sure you have those in front of you. So the first step in our art project is we're going to begin by placing our hand at the very bottom of our piece of paper, and we're going to trace our hand. But the key here is we're going to avoid tracing over the tips of our fingers when we do this. And what we're doing is creating the trunk and part of the branches of our tree of strength. So we have some images of what this could look like, but you are invited to take it in your own direction too. So we've got this image here of our first step of the art project. So there we go. Here's the traced hand, and then make sure you don't trace over the very tips. And then the key here is to make sure you've got a lot of space up at the top of the paper for your branches and for your leaves. I'll give everyone a second to do that. And our next step, once you have finished that, is you can start adding in, once your hand is traced, branches that go off in separate directions. So you can add just a few branches from each finger, or you can add a bunch that kind of go off. You can add just 2 or 3. You can add ones that kind of build off each other. And what we're doing is preparing space for our leaves. So here's an example of what that could look like, is the branches with the branches added in. So I love this part, the very beginning, because we are truly using our own body, our own hand to be a tree and start out the trunk. So that is our first step of our art project.
Thank you, Fidelity, so much. Yay. And today, as we are celebrating Earth Day, perhaps our holiest day as Unitarian Universalists, we remember that both modern scientists and ancient peoples have been learning and teaching about how connected we are to the earth. For the earth is not just our home, the place where we live. We are actually a part of the earth, and it is part of us. And trees have been a symbol of this connection for many peoples in many religions across lots of parts of the world. Here is one from the Celtic people who lived in what is now Ireland. I think the tree that I have here behind me, which you'll see again shortly, is based on this one. And then this is a tree of life from Islam. This one, we see more of the branches and the swirling branches and things. And this one is from ancient Egypt. And this is just the beginning. There are so many, many more. Trees of life are and have become a really powerful symbol for me. Here are 2 of mine, my Celtic inspired tree of life, and then this smaller, more delicate tree of life that sits on my altar at home, here at my home. I like imagining the deep roots that I have on earth, the roots of my ancestors, my grandparents, and great, 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 greats going back thousands of years, who lived on and grew from many lands around the earth. And I love thinking about how those roots communicate with one another, and also about how I reach to the sky with my own branches and leaves, that I blossom and unfurl. That my roots are entwined with yours underground, and all our leaves at the very top of the canopy all sway together, giggling and tickling and playing with each other, sheltering each other, protecting each other. And in between that, I have a strong trunk, not just to keep me strong, but to shelter so many other people, my family, my friends, the strangers I encounter each day. Fidelity's story asked us to think about how we can each be a tree. And today we're inviting everyone to be your own tree of life and to draw one too.
So we are now going to take some time to add in a few leaves. So this might be where you're at now, is your branches are kind of here spiraling out. And you can add in, at this point, we're going to ask you to add in 4 leaves. Now, these could be really big leaves. They could be small leaves. You could have them be different colors. You can decide which season it is for your tree. You could have just 1 on each branch, or even 3 or 4. So go ahead and add in about 3 or 4 leaves at this point. And what we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm some words that might go inside of your leaves as we're celebrating Earth Day. So the first words that we're going to write in are your favorite places on our planet Earth in nature. So where do you feel most at peace, at home, and safe in nature? So it could be a park you grew up in, it could be in the middle of the ocean, it could be among the birds running on the shore. For me, it's the Huntington Gardens in Los Angeles and Pasadena that I grew up in with my grandmother when she would go and volunteer, would be one of my absolute favorite places in nature, and always a safe space to reflect on. So think through, as you're writing your leaves, some of those places that you might want to put in your leaves, and go ahead and write them in.
And you can keep drawing your leaves and thinking about this and adding other things to your drawing, some of the creatures that you're sheltering, while throughout the whole service. And we'll have lovely music to listen to, and plenty of opportunities just to draw and be creative. So you can keep doing that also while we take up our collection. Each Sunday, this congregation gives away the entire collection to an organization in the larger community and to funds that help people in our own church. We now invite you to donate online, and so you will see the link on the next slide, and it will also be posted in the chat. And in celebration of Earth Day, our offering goes to Climate First, Replacing Oil and Gas, which is also known as Sea Frog. What a perfect thing to give our money to on Earth Day, as we celebrate Earth Day. Sea Frog is a local nonprofit that works to care for the earth by fighting dangerous climate changing actions and policies. One current focus is defending Ventura County's 2040 general plan, which has the most stringent oil and gas regulations in the nation. And This also then means that the oil industry is not as crazy about this as some of us, and they have filed 7 lawsuits in Ventura County Superior Court attempting to block these regulations. And that could make the 2040 general plan dead out of the gate if it is not defended adequately. And that's what CFROG is working to do. So among the things they've done is investigated over 4,000 abandoned or idle gas wells in Ventura County, many of which pose significant environmental threats, both from methane and seepage into this earth, which is our home and our body. Though it may cost as much as $68,000 to clean up just one well, some companies have contributed as little as $80 per well to the state's cleanup fund. CFROG is compiling a complete list of all the problematic wells, an urgent task that can avert costly environmental danger that could be upon us at any time. Thank you for giving as generously as you always do.
We are the earth, we speak for creation, and we cannot stand by and watch its devastation. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth of threatened sky and waters. What legacy shall we leave to our sons and daughters? And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, and we will speak as one. Will not surrender the great glaciers to the sun. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth of forest, soil, and ocean. We will stand in our defense and devotion, and we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, wounded but unbroken. We will rise when to power truth is spoken. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, both holy and profane. Despite denials, this fragile planet we must sustain. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are the earth, diverse and yet united. We will keep on until the wrongs are righted. And we will not be bought, we will not be deceived. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are one, we are strong, we are the earth. We are more than just dwellers on this earth. We are the earth. Look at all this. And this is only one street of so many blocks of people collecting like this.
We are the earth. We are the trees. We are part of the wood wide web, part of the cosmos. We are grateful for the generosity of this congregation, which weaves a tapestry of love in our roots and in our branches. The tapestry of love we call community. Thank you.
Each week, we lift up the joys and sorrows that have been shared with our community. There are two ways to submit a joy or sorrow: from a link on the website, uuventura.org, or a link in our Thursday email bulletin called UUCV This Week. When we are together in our physical sanctuary, we drop stones in water for each joy or sorrow. The ripples that go out remind us that we are all connected. Here in our online sanctuary that we make together today, we see the image of ripples that helps us keep that connection. I invite you now to speak aloud in your heart the names of those you wish to celebrate or memorialize, or those who may need the loving embrace of this community. I also invite you now to type the names into our Zoom chat. By invoking their names, even when we may not hear them, you bring them into the circle of caring that we call community.
Can you hear me?
We hold these names, spoken and unspoken, in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Keep
we're going to add a little bit more to our tree of life picture now. Some of you may know that I was once a biologist who studied ants. And after that, I worked for years as an environmental educator. I've always loved studying and teaching other people about the wonders of nature and what we can do to help protect our environment. In fact, the most fun job I ever had was at the Natural History Museum in San Diego, where I got to dress up as Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, complete with a wig and her amazing dresses that she wore in the books and on the TV show. I still have my Miss Frizzle wig in our Halloween costume box today. I get so inspired when I see kids investigate and explore and become motivated to take care of nature right in their own neighborhoods. I view Earth Day as an important and holy day each year when we remind ourselves and each other about the importance of thinking about the earth in all of our daily choices and taking action to help. So now I invite you to draw about 8 more leaves on your tree. As Fidelity said earlier, you can make them different shapes and sizes. They don't have to look like oak leaves. They can be whatever you wish. I don't suggest a pine needle though. That might be hard to write words on. So after you draw your leaves, we're going to answer a couple more questions by writing words inside of your leaves. So I'm going to channel my inner Bob Ross, for those who remember him from PBS. And we'll do this together. So I kind of did some ahead of time, but we're going to draw some more leaves. And one of the questions I want you to answer is, why do you love the earth? Maybe some reasons you love the earth could be how you feel when you're outside, or beautiful things that you have seen, or your favorite kind of weather, hot sunny day or a cold and snowy day. Here's some of my ideas. I love the earth because I love exploring tide pools at low tide. So I'm going to write tide pools in one of mine. You might not be able to see this, but I'm writing it. And I also love watching wildlife. I love watching the birds in our backyard fountain that come to drink and take a bath there. And I've also been lucky enough to watch wildlife far away. For example, the Galapagos tortoises that live on the Galapagos Islands, where Mark and I went for our honeymoon. So write some of those things in. Why do you love the earth? And the second question I want you to think about and add to your leaves is, what can you do to care for the earth? How can I care for the earth? One answer I came up with for myself is I can buy less stuff. And when I really need to buy something, I can look for something that's used, gently used, and put some more use into it. So if you have any kids in your life, or you remember being a kid yourself, the truth is that kids don't stop growing. They always seem to need the next size bigger of something. So one thing that Danica and Garrick and I do is when they're growing out of their pants or their shirts and they need the next size, we go on this really great website called Thread Up, where they sell used women's and kids' clothing. Unfortunately, no men's clothes yet. But we can pick out and buy gently used clothes that other people are all done with, and we can give them more life. Here's another thing that I do to care for the earth. Every time I walk my dog, Dune, who some of you have met, I make sure and bring bags and pick up his poop. It's not a fun job, but it's important because we don't want any dog poop to get down into the storm drain or soak into our groundwater and bring that harmful bacteria into our water system, into our oceans to hurt wildlife, or to make our water unclean and unhealthy. Remember to scoop your poop when you walk your dog. So while you are continuing to add your ideas right now about why do you love the earth and what can you do to take care of the earth, I'm going to share one more short story with you. Just yesterday, Danica and I were driving home from her softball game at the park, and we came across an injured baby wild rabbit. So we put on our Earth Day protector hats, and we parked the car and we stopped the traffic safely, and we scooped up this cute little baby rabbit who had injured back legs. He must have been hit, but still alive. And we brought him home and we called a rescue organization and we drove him to a lady's house who helps take care of injured wild animals. And she said, he looks pretty good. I think he's going to be okay. So there are plenty of ways that you can help care for the earth, even in small ways, right in your park across the street. So I invite you to continue adding to your picture, add more words, add some color, add some background. Perhaps there's some animals flying overhead. Perhaps there's some things crawling on the ground. I'm going to add some ants to my picture. And maybe there's water nearby. So please continue adding as we continue our service.
So definitely a few ants, butterflies, rabbits, squirrels. And now, while you're drawing, or just listen to these words of guided meditation, or maybe you want to close your eyes and let your gaze go a little bit soft as we enter a time of spaciousness. I invite you to relax and to breathe and to imagine yourself as a tree. Be a tree. You can, if you want to, stand up for this and use your whole body in this meditation, or just do this all in your mind. Imagine that your body has become a tree. What kind of tree are you? A mighty oak? A soaring tall redwood? A delicate ficus that loses its leaves when the weather gets cold? Where are you? What kind of dirt have you sunk your roots into? Imagine those roots going down into the soil, soaking up water and nutrients. Talking to the trees next to you through your roots. Feel your trunk. Your body is your trunk, rising from the earth, strong and safe. Now, feel branches rising to the sky. The sun shining on your leaves. The breeze gently blowing the branches and the leaves in the breeze. Who is here with you in your tree? Are there creatures sheltered in your trunk or branches? What is flying about your leaves as the wind rushes through them? Be a tree. Be the earth. Strong, flexible, fragile, precious, welcoming, playful, protecting, growing. Be a tree. And now I invite you to slowly come back into your body as it is, your human body, lowering your branches, coming back into your feet, your hands, your head, your body. You are here in a human body. And yet, remember that you also can be a tree. Open your eyes, refocus your gaze, finish up a leaf or two. Oh, yeah, this is me now still. I keep going. There's the bell, and here I get to keep talking. So now that you have been a tree for a little while, at least, you've been a tree. What was your favorite part of being a tree? What lessons can you learn from the trees? How do you want here in your human body to be like a tree? Go ahead and draw some more leaves, another 3 or 5 or 8. And right now in those leaves, the qualities, maybe even things about the personalities of trees that you would like to have for you. I do like that trees are strong and flexible. They can stand tall and bend with the wind still when they need to. And they are beautiful. They are beautiful as the whole tree, and each part of them is beautiful, from their leaves that bud and unfurl at this time of year, often with the softest, sweetest greens. From their soft new leaves, to their wrinkly bark that protects the tender, soft, growing parts inside. My own bark, this skin, has started growing some wrinkles of its own, especially when I smile, luckily. And yet sometimes I also can feel very soft and even scared inside. I like having bark that protects me and still having a tender heart. So I invite you to keep drawing while we listen to more beautiful music about our beautiful earth.
Listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to greed. Listen listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please, stop listening to greed. She sent the drought to warn us, she sent the storms to scold us, but we don't listen. We burn and we break and we take and we take and we take till it's too late. Oh, where did the beasts go? Where did the trees go? Where will man go when he has lost the heartbeat beneath his feet? Oh, this is our home. She gives us home, Mother Earth. Can you feel her heart beat beneath your feet? Heart beat beneath your feet. Heart beat beneath your feet. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please, stop listening to greed. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please, stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please, stop listening to greed.
So at this point in our service, we have a few children, youth, and adults who have been invited to come in and share the art projects that they made throughout the service.
This is my art project, and my favorite place in nature is hiking in Utah.
This is my art project, and one of my favorite places in nature are sand dunes. Like the ones at the beach. Project, and one of my favorite places in nature is Yellowstone.
Are you ready to share what you made?
Not yet, but I'll be done very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
This is my art project.
Oh, I'm seeing cleaning up trash. That's a good one.
Good morning, I'm Janice, and this is the tree that I've created. The leaves are from a fiddle leaf fig, which is one of my favorite plants, even though it's not a tree. My favorite place in nature are the coastal redwood forests. There's nothing more wonderful to me than sitting or walking through a silent grove of redwoods. One of my most fun parts of nature are watching the quail families run through our yard when the babies are about an inch high.
This is my art project. One of my favorite things about trees is that they are peaceful and strong.
That's a good one. You've got some cool creatures down at the bottom too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all who shared. I know that the words art project can strike fear into the hearts of somebody who's been out of school for even decades. And so thank you all for sharing your artwork. Trees are so holy. I love them when I am out of doors so much that I bring their image into my home. And here, this is a photograph. This is actually one of the trees that I have brought into my home. This is a photograph that I discovered while visiting Big Bear, high in the mountains among the trees. It was made by local artist from Redlands, Alex Mitroff. And it is among my trees of life, which all help remind me of so much. The earth is our body. The earth is our home. The earth is holy. Right now, I am not on my screen as spotlighted. I'm just going to keep going because I hope you all are seeing me. Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh tells us that we are not just interdependent with each other and all of life. Thich Nhat Hanh says we are one another. We are the plant, the animal, the tree, each other, the earth. He calls this interbeing, which is way more up close and personal than needing one another interdependently. And this sense of interbeing carries us more deeply into the realities of our earth and what is happening on earth. When we understand that what we are doing to the earth, we are doing to our home. To our home, yes. And yet beyond that, we are doing that to our very selves. If we could really get that inside our bodies, we could see more clearly that we have to care for the earth. Because in order for us to blossom, we need to care for all the earth. Care for all the earth's creatures. Care for all the earth's living things. So today, I hope that in drawing and perhaps even for a short while, becoming a tree, you have made a deeper connection to the earth, to that part of your being that some call soul, to your full beingness as part of our home, our beautiful blue boat home, sailing the heavens together, that you know yourself as body, as tree, as forest, earth, home, and you care for all and all that is holy. Amen, and blessed be.
Please join me in our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home.
Leaning over the edge
Please join Reverend Dana and me in extinguishing your chalice at home. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. Those we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Those we carry into our lives until we gather again.
After the postlude, everyone will be placed into a breakout room for a virtual coffee hour. Even if you are new among us, I sincerely invite you to join in. We are a friendly group and want to get to know each other. You and all who join us. And if you want to and need to, you can opt out at that point too. And please today, share your trees if you drew one with the group and a couple of the leaves that you filled in. I leave you with these words as we celebrate our holy day. Holy day, embracing and loving the earth and our own holy beingness. Go forth, be a tree, be the earth, and know it all and yourself as holy. Go forth in love, go forth in peace, go forth in good health. Go forth and be a tree. May it be so.